Here's the truth about success that nobody tells you. Most people think success comes from talent, connections, or being in the right place at the right time. And sure, those things help, but here's what's actually going on behind the scenes. The people who consistently win, whether it's in business, relationships, or life, they all share the same invisible operating system. It's not what they do, it's who they are when nobody's watching. I've spent years studying high performers, and I've broken down the exact personality traits that separate the top 1% from everyone else. And today, I'm giving you all 8 in the exact order you need to develop them. Let's start with the one trait that most people completely ignore. Delayed gratification is your ability to say no to what feels good now for what's better later. It's the marshmallow test, but on steroids. Here's how this shows up in real life. While everyone else is binge-watching another series, you're building your skill set. While they're sleeping in, you're at the gym. While they're spending their paycheck on instant dopamine hits, you're investing in assets that compound. The Stanford Marshmallow Study proved this decades ago. Kids who could resist one marshmallow to get 2 later had higher SAT scores, better careers, and healthier relationships 30 years down the line. Here's why this matters. Every successful person you admire made 1,000 invisible sacrifices you never saw. Delayed gratification isn't about suffering. It's about trading temporary pleasure for permanent power. This trait is actually useless without the next one. Emotional control is your ability to feel everything without being controlled by anything. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being the director of your emotions, not the actor. Think about this. When someone criticizes you, do you defend and attack? Or do you pause? Extract the 2% that's useful and move forward. When you fail, do you spiral into self-doubt? Or do you treat it like data? Navy SEALs train something called tactical breathing. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out. Not because emotions are bad, but because the person who stays calm in chaos makes better decisions. This is the master trait, because you can have all the ambition in the world, but if you're reactive, if your emotions hijack your decisions, you'll sabotage yourself every single time. Emotional control is the difference between responding and reacting. And once you have control, the third trait becomes your superpower.
Comfort with discomfort means you've trained yourself to lean into the things that scare you. Your nervous system sees uncertainty as danger, but your success lives on the other side of that fear. Here's the practice. Start microdosing discomfort. Take cold showers, have the awkward conversation, post your work before it's perfect, send the risky email. David Goggins calls this callousing your mind. Every time you do something uncomfortable and survive, you're literally rewiring your brain's threat detection system. The most successful people aren't fearless, they're fear familiar. But discomfort alone can make you reckless. You need trait number 4 to direct. Assertiveness is the skill of advocating for yourself without aggression or apology. It's not about being loud. It's about knowing your value and communicating it clearly, even when it's uncomfortable. Most people confuse assertiveness with aggression. Aggressive says, I matter, you don't. Passive says, you matter, I don't. Assertive says, we both matter, and here's what I need. Practice this. I appreciate the offer, but that doesn't work for me. Here's what I can do instead. I need X to make this work. No justification, no apology, just clear communication. And here's the important part. Every opportunity you want requires asking. Every boundary you need requires stating. If you can't be assertive, you'll spend your life living on everyone else's terms. This trait is your voice. But assertiveness without flexibility is just stubbornness. And once you see clearly, the 5th trait lets you act on what you see. Adaptability is your capacity to pivot when reality shifts. It's not about having no plan. It's about holding your plan loosely enough to change it when the data changes. Think of Bruce Lee's famous quote, "Be water, my friend."
Water doesn't break when it hits a wall. It finds another path. The world's most successful people weren't the ones who predicted the future perfectly. They're the ones who adjusted fastest when they were wrong. Jeff Bezos, Reed Hastings, Sarah Blakely, their success stories are all pivots. Here's what nobody tells you. The plan you start with is never the plan that works. Adaptability is the trait that keeps you in the game long enough to win. Rigidity is a death sentence in a changing world. But adapting constantly without consistency leads nowhere. That's where number 6 comes in. Consistency is the boring secret that beats talent every time. It's showing up on the days you don't feel like it. It's the compound interest of behavior. Here's the math. Someone who writes 500 words per day has a book in 6 months. Someone who invests $10 per day has financial security in a decade. Someone who works out 20 minutes daily transforms their health in a year. James Clear nailed it in Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Consistency isn't about motivation. It's about identity. This is where dreams turn into reality, because success isn't a moment. It's 1,000 boring Tuesday mornings where you did the work anyway. Consistency is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. But all of this, every single trait, collapses without the final one.
A responsibility mindset means you accept that you are the author of your life, not your parents, not your boss, not the economy. You. This is the hardest and most liberating trait to develop. Here's the shift. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what can I control here? Extreme ownership, as Jocko Willink teaches it, means even when something isn't your fault, the response is still your responsibility. You didn't choose your starting point, but you choose every step after that. This is the foundation beneath all 7 other traits. Why would you develop emotional control? Why delay gratification? Why adapt? The responsibility mindset is the unlock. It says, my life is my masterpiece, and I'm holding the brush. Everything changes when you accept that.
So there you have it. Emotional control, delayed gratification, comfort with discomfort, self-awareness, assertiveness, adaptability, consistency. Here's the thing. You walked into this video probably thinking success was about strategy or tactics. If this hit different, drop a like and subscribe to Things Too, because we're just getting started. Now go become the person your future self will thank.